Hi, everyone. My name is Austin Broussard. We're going to give folks probably about 6 minutes to join, right? This is the final public hearing for MLGW. So thank you for being here. But of course, it's the middle of the day. Folks are moving around and we're going to give them about 6 minutes to join. So please be patient. You're definitely in the right room. It will be quiet for a couple of minutes. I wish I had elevator music for you, but thank you for being here on time and we'll see you, or at least we'll get started in about 6 minutes. But this is really, really important. So thank you all for showing up. I'm going to pause the recording for now and we'll actually start it back when the meeting gets started up. Here we go. So can you all still see the screen that says, hey, these are the rules for the public hearing, or these are the housekeeping rules for the public hearing? Drop a one in the chat if you can still see that, the housekeeping rules for the public hearing. I'm getting some questions in the chat. That's completely okay. I'll address them. And I want to go through this part because it's really important, actually. So the purpose of this hearing is to hear, and I want to emphasize, hear candid testimony about your experiences, both positive and negative, either doing business or attempting to do business with MLGW, right? So everything said during this hearing will be available for public record, but Griffin and Strong's final report will not publish the names, business names, or other affiliations of individuals who give testimony, right? So that final report won't say your name, it won't say your business name, and it won't have any other affiliations that are related to you. As far as the process for this part of the conversation, right, this last kind of 40 minutes of meeting, we're not soliciting questions, but commentary only. Additionally, we will not be responding to questions or commentary other than to gain additional clarity to your comments. There is an email address that was on the page before, and I'll drop it in the chat actually, where you can send questions if you do have questions, right, that are specific to the study. But the public hearing portion of this meeting is for comments. And so when providing comments, please do me this favor. Please begin by stating your name and business name clearly for the record before beginning your testimony, okay? So I'm going to stop sharing and bring it back for you all so that this is a conversation between us all. And we will go from there. The recording is still going, but again, all you have to do is come off mute, right? You can raise your hand if you know how via Zoom. I know we've been on Zoom for a couple of years now, so some folks are more familiar. But if you've got a comment about doing business with MLGW or attempting to do business with MLGW, we are welcoming that right now. And thank you so much for being open, right? Being ready to share. That's why we're here. Thank you. Who would like to go first? I don't want it to seem like a school classroom. I don't want to have to call on folks at all. It's not that environment, right? Really want you all to feel comfortable. Again, this is your opportunity to speak specifically to how your experience has been either doing business with MLGW, attempting to do business with MLGW, and also answering if you haven't done business with MLGW, why? So we got one person that came off mute and I can be quiet now. Michael.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael McKinney. I'm with Mobile Drug Testing here in Memphis. I've tried to do business with MLGW for the last probably 5 years. So every time I put in a proposal, it's lacking something. So recently they sent an RFP that's due on the 24th, and I put in a request for records on the 5th, and today is the 18th, and they still haven't got those records back to me yet. So I talked to a department manager yesterday, and she claimed that they're still working on a record proposal. But I just feel like, it should not take 2 weeks to get public records requests filled. And I need those records to put in my bid for the 24th. So right now, I just don't think that they're leading towards trying to get Black males into the business of putting in proposals. And that's just how I feel about MLGW.
Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that. And so just to clarify, and again, I'm not answering questions in this portion. I'm not asking questions of you all other than to clarify on your comments, right? Like you mentioned, you've attempted to do business for the last 5 years with MLGW. And in this time you asked for a public records request.
Yes.
And that's related to former contract? So I just want to make sure we're clear on the kind of request.
It's an open RFP that's due on the April 24th.
Right. As far as the records though, like as far as what information.
I requested the current contract is currently in place.
Okay, got it.
Yes,
Got it. Okay.
on the
Thank you
5th of April. Today is the 18th.
Okay, got it. That's really helpful. And then as far, and again, for anyone, this is an opportunity, not just this is not a rag session, it's not all negatives and positives, because what we want to hear is this: where do we have an opportunity to improve? And then what are the things that we should keep doing, right? What things are going well? So both of those we welcome, and we appreciate you, Michael, for sharing. Michael, what's the name of your business again? Michael McKinney?
It's mobile drug testing.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
So hello, my name is Alicia Hill. I'm the founder and CEO of ACG Brand Management LLC here in Memphis. And I've only been in business for 4 years. This is my 4th year this year. And I've been learning a lot about how to do business with the city of Memphis. And to the point of MLGW, I have not done business with them yet. But what I have found that I needed to learn to do was network more and understand their system, how it works. And because I know the bids are public knowledge, those contracts are public knowledge, I have been putting in requests to get those so that I can look over them, the ones that apply to what I do, so that when I do see one that I can bid on, I'll have all of my information together, have all my questions answered. And when I put my bid in, hopefully it'll be correct and accurate, and it'll show the cost, how long it took, what they did. So I just recently found that out, that you can get all of that information. And so I'm trying to give myself a head start and really understand how the system works and what is it that I need for a bid, so that when I'm getting ready to bid, I'm not stressed and pressured about having everything I need and not miss the bid. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that process works. I haven't tested it out yet because a bid had come up for what I do. I do leadership training as well as customer experience training. So I'm looking forward to doing some business with Memphis Light, Gas, and Water soon.
Thank you so much, Alicia. We really appreciate your comment. That's helpful, right? The perspective on networking and how engaging can get you access to the information. So we really appreciate it. Who else would like to share, right? I really, again, want to implore you to take this opportunity to voice your concerns, or voice your positives, voice your experiences that have gone well. We've got some things in the chat for folks who don't have access to the microphones. But for those of you who do, again, as a part of the study process, as a part of the research, as a part of what's required by the court, you have to have specific evidence before being able to make particular recommendations. And so your opportunity today is to share your experiences so that that becomes evidence that can be used to inform recommendations that are made. And of course, you can unmute, you can raise your hand via Zoom, but we definitely want to hear from you all, because we are 100% going to be here the whole time, right? So we're going to be here until 1 p.m. Central Time. And again, if you've got friends who are at lunch and weren't able to make it, or were a little bit late, invite them, tell them to come into the room that are business owners, because the core goal today is to make sure that we hear from you. So thank you all for being active so far. I hope that it does continue, because this is really helpful. Who else would like to share?
Me.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Veronique Johnson. I'm living in Nashville, Tennessee, but I would like to do business with Memphis and etc. I just qualified to be a vendor with them, but before that, I did apply for some bid, and my problem with them, they do not give you like a feedback, even though you are not a win. they do not give you, send you email, said, okay, sorry, you are not qualified, you are not when something like that. They put you in a way of say, do good or not good, how to do next time, what to do. And then they don't give you some email, like if they got some bid opportunities, they then send you like some emails, say, okay, this is what we got available. So you have to do your own search to go to the a vendor side. And when you go to the vendor side, they just give you a limit type of solicitation. They don't have like plenty of things to choose on. It's like, if you don't have your email or something like that, so it's very difficult for me to know what to do.
Got it. So I just want to be clear here. So you said you just got qualified to bid with MLGW, but in the past, the question or concern has been, hey, if I don't win, you want to make sure that you get more information or feedback, some sort of
Yes.
understanding as to why.
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
Just let me know, okay, you are not winning for this time, something like that. I never received nothing, like who won or do I have to still waiting?
Got it. Got it. Got it. And then, so have you requested that kind of feedback from?
First, I did, whoever is on the bid, I contact them, never answer me.
One more time, I couldn't hear the last part that you said.
Whoever is responsible to contact, when I contact the person, I don't have no email reply.
Okay, got it, got it. Well, thank you. And Veronique, what was the name of your business again?
Saturn Supply LLC.
You said Saturn Supply?
Yes.
SATURN?
LLC, yes.
Okay, got it. Thank you, I appreciate it. And I'm just curious, what kind of materials are you supplying?
Janitorial supplies, office supplies, and I do janitorial services too.
Okay, got it. Thank you. I really appreciate it. It looked like we had one more person that was coming off of mute as well.
Say it again?
I was saying it looked like we had one more person that was coming off of mute as well. I was asking you your last question, but I wanted to make sure to not interrupt them so that they have the floor. I think it was Shanika.
Okay.
Hi, Austin. My name is Shanika Tate, and I'm a member of MLGW's Contracts Management Department. And I just wanted to respond to Ms. Jones.
Right. So, Shanika, what we'll do is we'll save a couple minutes at the end for any MLGW personnel to respond or provide additional information. For the public hearing portion, just for kind of the structure of it, we want to make sure that we leave the floor open for business owners who want to share their commentary.
Oh, I apologize.
No problem at all. No problem at all. All right, it looks like one more. How are you?
Yes, my name is George Hilliard. I'm with Pete Mitchell and Associates Insurance Agency. I've been doing business with Memphis Light, Gas, and Water for probably 20 plus years. What I've found over my experience with them is that they are very intentional in being inclusive. I guess because I've gotten to know the organization and the people within the organization, I see how intentional they are about being inclusive. The procurement fairs, informational meetings, and community outreach, I've seen all that, and I've actually witnessed all that. So for us, where my agency, my business, they are, to me, a model organization for being inclusive. I think they go far beyond what the average public entity or public organization would do. So I'm always applauding them for their effort. But one of the things that I have an advantage is I'm more involved with Memphis Light, Gas, and Water in their effort. So I see the intentionality of what they're trying to do there. So I give them a thumbs up because I feel like they are definitely a model for other public entities in reference to being inclusive.
I really appreciate that. So quick question for you. When you say more involved, just so that we have the perspective, right? And so that other business owners can get to that position, right? What does that mean?
Okay. I've had an opportunity to serve on the External Advisory Council, which means that is that's a committee that they have in reference to trying to get input from other mental like gas and water employees, which means that I'm there to basically give my input in reference to what's going on in the general public. A lot of time how they are being perceived. And I'm there basically from an advisor standpoint on maybe this is something that you may consider, whether it's community outreach, rather the systems that they have in place, the ease of doing business. So that's one of the reasons I did that disclaimer. I'm probably a little bit more involved than the average citizen who's trying to do business with me for like gas and water. So, but yes, I see it firsthand, and I'm there as serving as an advisor capacity on what I think they're doing well as some of the things I think they can tweak or do better.
I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And again, what was the name of your business, Mr. Haley?
Pete Mitchell and Associates Insurance Agency.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Who else have we got? And I'm so glad that the room is full today. I'm actually genuinely happy for the participation. Anyone who's here, please do feel free to just come off mute and share. Again, doing business with MLGW, attempting to do business with MLGW, or doing business in the Memphis marketplace, or even speaking to why you may not have done a business with MLGW yet.
Are you able to see the comments in the chat?
Yes, I can see the comments in the chat. I can't, so I'm trying to hold the conversation. I'm going to respond to certain comments in the chat. I want to make sure to juggle both efficiently, but also, of course, the chat it becomes a part of our research as you're sharing. So any comments that you're sharing are being documented here in the chat. I'm not sure who it was that just came off mute to ask that, but the comments that are being shared in the chat are being documented as well, noted to say, hey, this is what the business community owners have said. And again, this part is for us to hear your commentary. As far as questions, we're not answering questions at this point. And that's why it may seem a little bit segmented, but specifically just as part of formal function, right? The public hearing portion is specifically for business owners to give your commentary as opposed to for us to answer questions. That's why the email address is available. We had informational meetings at the beginning of the study for answering plenty of questions. We've got focus groups. We've got other formats to answer questions. We just want to make sure that from a time perspective, we honor you all's time by giving you the floor to be able to make your comments. So do we have more comments from the group? We appreciate you all sticking with us this long. And again, we're going to be here the entire time. So please do share. We're welcoming all of your commentary. I just want to make clear, I'm 100% okay with the fact that it might be a bit awkward that I keep asking. I'm going to keep asking because it's genuinely important. It becomes a part of the study research. As this disparity study is a research exercise, in order to be able to document what the business community is saying, days like today are important. And so please do, if can, come off mute, share in the chat, send your email comments to MLGW studies at gspclaw.com, but please do share.
Hi, my name is Tracy Key. I am an office manager for the Ransom Group. Jennifer Ransom couldn't be here, but she asked me to be on the call. And we have submitted, we are a commercial and industrial general contracting firm, woman and minority owned. we have attempted to do business with MLGW, but it just appears that they are able to meet their MWBE objectives using majority-owned, women-owned construction companies. And we do receive some of the results back and also just see who are bidding those projects out after the contracts have been awarded. So we know who gets the contracts that we have applied or submitted proposals for. And it's typically one of the same consistent contractors. And so we have not submitted proposals recently because it does appear that there, is a firm that's satisfying some objectives for MLGW. We could be wrong, and it could just be coincidence, or they could be the only one applying because we've stopped. But we just haven't had much luck doing business with MLGW.
Got it. And just to clarify, so you said you were attempting, of course, have stopped now. How was the information, right? Was there much clarity with regard to what the details of your, I guess, lost bids were, like as far as bid tabulation?
No feedback whatsoever. No feedback. And sometimes we weren't even, we were not necessarily the low bidder, but we were not the high bidder. But it didn't necessarily seem like the total cost was always the determining factor on who it was awarded to. So it just there has not been feedback. So in the past, they may have changed that, but when we were bidding projects with them, there was not feedback.
I was on mute. I apologize. Okay, thank you so much. And what was the name of your company again?
The Ransomed Group, we're a commercial and industrial general contractor.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Jennifer. We've got here about 15 more minutes. I won't even say 15. We probably got about 12 more minutes because we're going to leave a couple of minutes at the end for MLGW to share information. We do have comments in the chat from individuals who may not be able to use their microphone. So I am trying my best to make sure I document those as well as a part of the meeting notes. So thank you for those. But for anyone who can use your microphone and who would like to share, please do. We welcome that. All right. So I'm going to ask again, look, we've got over 20 people still in the room. It is pretty quiet, and look, it's not that you all are the first, it's sometimes that way. But I want to make sure that everyone is clear that this is your opportunity, and this is the last of the public hearings for MLGW. So if you got information that you'd like to share, positive or negative, about your experiences attempting to do business with or doing business with MLGW, this is the opportunity to do it. And again, you've got space for email comments that you can make, but as far as what becomes a part of the public record that can then be used as information and evidence as a part of this research, this study's research, this is a great opportunity to share and make your voice heard as a member of the Memphis area business community. All right, we've got a hand. So we've got Michael McKinney here.
I got a question or maybe a comment. In my industry, we, provide drug, alcohol, background checks and other services. Um, Over the years of, providing RFPs for MLGW, and we go back and look at the records, seem like they've been using the same vendor over and over for like the last 10 or 15, 20 years. Is that something that can be corrected going forward? Can they like switch out the contracts to other people, other vendors?
Got it. So again, I'm going to save that for the last couple of minutes of the call, right? During which MLGW is able to provide additional information. For this portion, I guess the comment part of that, knowing that as a vendor, you feel that there is a consistent use of a certain contractor group or individual contractor. That part we can accept. As far as the question, though, I'd have to defer and wait for the end of the meeting in order for that to be shared.
Okay.
But now that we have 6 minutes, who else would like to share before we do transition to the information part of the meeting? Anyone else? Again, raise your hand or come off mute. I'm getting a lot of questions. Thank you, Francis. I've got all of your comments here from the chat. They're documented, noted as a part of this meeting. So thank you genuinely for sharing those. I've been keeping track and they are in place. They are documented. Look, the room is getting thin. People are exiting, and that's okay. You've been with us for the majority of an hour, so I appreciate your time today. But we got 5 minutes left, actually less than 5. That's why I put a 4 up. I also could just be sleepy, one of the two. But seriously, we've got 4 minutes left in the call. Let's see. For this, it's not working. I'm gonna take it off mute. Let's see. We've got someone who wants to make a comment, and I'm going to see if I can help them with a tech issue. While we do that, though, please do, please do unmute yourself and make comments for those that are in the room. Let's see if I can help with this tech issue really quickly.
Austin, let me know when you're ready. I can.
No problem at all. In
Okay.
about 4 to 5 minutes, and we'll get started with the MLGW portion.
It wasn't gonna happen that Saturday. It's like, he's not gonna come. I'm gonna feel obligated to come, and it's just gonna be the same. And then I know today is not gonna be.
All right, 1 second.
So, but I wanna say that. To me, it's a waste of time.
Anyone else? Look, again, I will remind you all, I'm completely okay with having to ask more than once. What I'm not okay with is feeling like the business community is not heard. So thank you. I think we've got Miriam off mute here, but I think you may have microphone trouble. So let me make sure. I think she dialed in on the phone as well. But I want to make sure that we're able to hear her comments. Is this? I've asked to unmute for both the caller on the line as well as Miriam from a computer, but we're not getting any audio. Both the computer and the phone are unmuted, but we're not getting any audio. If you are speaking, Miriam, you're welcome again to drop it in the chat or send it to the email. But I think we've got it as open as possible from our end, from the tech side, as far as people being able to come off mute, noted by the others on the call who've been able to share, but I'm not necessarily sure how we would. You may be able to exit and rejoin. That might work.
Yeah, she did.
We've got 2 more minutes. This is not your last time in life where you get an opportunity to share. You've got an opportunity via email comment, which is in the chat. Let me scroll to it and copy it again so that we are 100% on the same page about where you would send any additional comments that you may have forgotten to share today, or just wanted to make sure you shared in a different way. Here, I'm going to put in the chat the email address and the study website so that you've got those. We've got 60 more seconds before we transition to the MLGW sharing portion of this meeting. I'm going to stop the recording at that. Actually, I may keep the recording going. But I want to make sure that anyone who wanted to share is able to or has been able to. We've got the number that just joined again. That may be Miriam. I'm going to ask that number to unmute. We can't hear anything yet, though.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
There we go. Sorry about that.
No worries at all.
My name is Miriam Gunner. I'm with Novatech. We've had the wonderful opportunity of working with MLGW for several years. We started out as a small business, and it took us a while to develop that relationship, but it's been a very nice one since. The one thing that I would like to see, because Memphis Light Gas and Water is a Memphis-owned company for Memphis and the Mid-South, it would be nice if more consideration was given, for locally owned businesses so that the money stays within the Memphis area, whether it be, just in Shelby County or at least in the Mid-South area. They do give some credit for that, but it would be nice if it could actually have a little more weight and, stay within the Memphis area. But other than that, it's been a good experience, a very learning experience, because like I said, we started out a small business, and we've grown it over the years. But that would be my take as far as, some things that could possibly be done. It's nice to keep the money in your community.
Got it. That's really helpful, Miriam. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate that. And so just for clarity, we'll have been doing business with MLGW for a while. And what does Novatech provide exactly? Or even just generally?
Office equipment, meaning the copiers, printers, wide format, production, things of that nature.
Okay. Got it. And again, that's Miriam Gunter with Novatech. I'm just stating that, of course, for the record. Your name, nor business name, nor any other affiliation is going to be published in the final disparity study report. I want to make that clear to everyone who's still here on the call with us. But for the purpose of the public meeting, the public hearing, we want to make sure that everything is documented for the record. It will be available for you all to review and will be on the MLGW website that I've posted in the chat. So thank you all. We're going to close the public hearing portion of the meeting now, if no one else has a comment. And we'll give MLGW an opportunity to speak or provide some additional information for the last few minutes. All right, so with us today from MLGW, we've got Tamara Pate, and I believe 1 or 2 more of their team members. I believe Shanika Tate as well. But if anyone else from MLGW is on, please do share. And this is your opportunity. We've got about 8 minutes left. We do have a hard stop here at 1 p.m. Central, but we've got an opportunity for MLGW to share. Please do so. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Austin. Again, I'm Tamara Pate, the Supplier Diversity Coordinator for Memphis Light Gas and Water. Thank you again, everyone, for being on the call. This is our 3rd public hearing. And with us today, I have Shanika Tate, along with Arma Orr and Javon Harris. They are all a part of the Procurement and Contracts Department and can shed a little light on some of your questions regarding the process, the public records process. So I'm going to ask Ms. Shanika Tate, one of our veteran contract specialists, to come off mute, and she can share a little more insight for you all. And then Ms. Arma and Javon can follow if you have any additional comments. But Shanika, if you can come off mute for a second while she's unmuting. if you have any additional questions, just feel free to unmute yourself and ask as we speak. Thank you so much. Thanks, Shanika.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you, Tamara. And Austin, I apologize. I did not understand the actual facilitation or how it's supposed to go. So I came on a little late.
No
but
worries at
I
all.
got some information from Tamara, and I happened to hear one of the firms speaking about not getting a follow-up after they submitted a proposal or they didn't hear anything. And I only wanted to add that I am a member of the contracts management department. We also have a purchasing department, but we're separate, but we're one group. But I did want to just make the comment that in the contracts management department, when we receive bids or proposals, we follow up with the people that bid. You know, if you weren't awarded a contract for whatever reason, we send out a notice, which is a legal notice that lets you know who was selected. And for those that submitted, they have the information in that letter that tells them who was awarded the contract. And so I would encourage anyone, if they don't hear from their specialist, to reach out to them. And if they haven't gotten any feedback, then maybe they should contact one of our offices to ask to speak to one of the supervisors, because we take our jobs very seriously and we want to make sure that we're communicating with the vendors as far as proposals go. So that was just my comment.
Thank you, Shanika. I'm gonna also at this time ask, we do have our manager as well, Mr. Randy Orsby, on the call. If he can unmute, he'd like to share some information as well.
Thanks, Tim.
Good afternoon. Can you hear me, Austin?
Yes, I can.
All right. Well, I'd say good afternoon to everyone on the call. This was a great format and forum, and I enjoyed the questions and a lot of the comments. And I just wanted to respond to a couple of the comments. And one of them was Miss Gunter, and she was inquiring about the local MLGW providing more opportunities for local businesses. And what I wanted to let her know is that we do that. We have a program called the LSB, Local Small Business Program. And we try, if it's under $100,000, then we try, and we can anticipate that we can get 3 bids, then we send it out to those local small businesses. Also, we have a program that's called the Local Preference or Local Presence. And if you're within the city of Memphis and you do a bid, you get a 5% discount only for the bidding portion of it, just for the award part of it. So we do have applications that we utilize to try to enhance our local businesses as much as possible on that. So, you know, I just wanted to let you know that we do try to keep as much money inside the community as possible on that. Secondly, Shanika responded to one of our to the question that somebody had asked, so I'll move forward on that one. But one of the gentlemen asked about I think it was a computer. I think he was part of an IT, and our main thing is we try to solicit bids as much as possible. But if we have sometimes we have contracts that might be with Microsoft or with Apple, and if they are licensed and we cannot, you know, we can only do business with them only, then those are the only times that we have how can I say it, extending businesses with that particular company, because we always try to go out for bid as much as possible to try to provide opportunities for other people. But every now and then we do have some contracts or some items in our system that may be only for one. It can be only a sole source, and that's the only one that we can utilize at that time. Besides that, we try to, like I said, we try to provide as much business, and we try to go out as much as possible and not have just one business getting it all the time. So I hope that answers your question. And thirdly, if you have any questions for me, you can contact me and email me if you got any questions. My email address is rsby@mlgw.org. Again, RORSBY@mlgw.org, and I'll be happy to help you on that. With that being said, I'll digress, and if anybody else has anything, Ms. Javon or Ms. Armour, anybody else, I'll leave time for them to speak.
Thank you, Brandon. This is Armour Orr. I'm a contract specialist in the contracts department at Memphis Light, Gas, and Water. I've been doing seal bids for some years now. And I try to make sure that all my contractors are contacted via email or by phone, letting them know of upcoming projects. And I have found out that many times they'll receive the documentation or the solicitation documents, and they fail to read. Reading is so important. We have specifications that are there that tells you what the project is about. You have to meet certain qualifications. We have even had orientation meetings, set up site visits. We have a question and answer period where you can ask questions, and you receive responses for those questions. I have even gone as far as sending a reminder of the bid due dates for our various contracts that are out there. And also, a lot of times when the bids come in, they're missing something. I always try to indicate what is needed. The entire bid package, not just a quote. If you send us a quote, you will be disqualified. If you do not sign your bid, you will be disqualified. If you don't have a valid license, contractor's license, you will be qualified. Things like that. Yes, you will be qualified. And yes, for all of our bids, we do send out a notification of intent to award for all those bidders who submitted a bid, letting you know who we have chosen or who our end users have chosen to be awarded this project. Thank you.
So as we wrap, I just have one question, Arma, because that's a great point. How, do you, from a vendor perspective, because there are a couple on the call who feel like they haven't received that notice after the fact. So where should they be looking? Is it the email address that's provided in their bid, and it's always sent out to that email address that, this is who is going to win this contract, that kind of thing?
Yes, whoever sends the bid in, whoever my contact person is, if there are several people within that company, I send those emails to all those people who are there. And
Got
this is contract management's process.
Got it. Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome.
we do have to wrap now. But thank you to everyone who stayed with us the entire time. I really appreciate it. We've got a meeting here right at 1 p.m. Central. But thank you for those who contributed, who shared, who showed up. And those who want to drop your email comments, please do mlgwstudy@gspclaw.com. Again, my name is Austin Broussard, the project manager for this study, as well as the City of Memphis and Memphis Shelby County Schools disparity studies going on right now. And we look forward to continuing to engage you all as a business community. So thank you so much for being here. Take care.